You did 8 episodes.
I did. I'm going to kick off more in November, but you know, I've learned from you.
Mhm.
I've watched you. I've kind of like taken tips and
Yeah.
I didn't do as many episodes as what you've done, but
Yeah.
I know that like I had to pace myself because I didn't want to like
Yeah.
jump off the ledge and then not be able to be consistent. Like
Yeah.
that's always made me nervous. Like
Mhm.
I want to
Mhm.
make sure I'm consistent with it.
Mhm.
So yeah, I was like, this is
That's
impressive.
amazing. I'm excited. So, what did you feel doing the last one and your first one and the lessons that you've learned along the way?
Oh, that's good. That's good. I think, well, the number one lesson I learned is that it's always best just to jump in and don't overthink things.
Mm. Mhm.
That was probably the best lesson because that first one, you know, you and I had talked and you were like, just do it, just do it, just do it. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I remember texting the person,
Mhm.
and then my analyzer mind started like, you don't have a date, you don't have a time. Where are you going to do this? You
Yeah.
don't have a microphone. And I just stopped myself
Yeah.
and text the person and was like, are you available this day and this time? And the person was like, yes. I said, okay, good. You'll do this for me. And after that, like just sticking with it. So the
Yeah.
lesson I learned was sometimes it's just jumping in and not overthinking because everything's not going to be perfect that first time out.
Yeah.
And I think naturally as human beings, we want things to be perfect the first time. Like we
Yeah.
want to see the finish line at the
Mhm.
starting line, and it's impossible.
Yeah, exactly. You had this vision of it, and also you want it to look a certain way, and then holds us back to just starting. And
Yes.
yeah, I mean, like it's interesting, and it's so fun to be able to see the process too. Of your journey too, jumping into it. So I
Oh
makes
yeah.
me so happy. And like what I've learned or loved as well is that each person that I talk to, the connecting of the dots and the lessons and the answers that they will give me of like, what do you think the purpose of life is? What do you think like what's secret to a happy marriage and all of these, life questions, and things will start to connect the dots of like communication is, a huge one. Values is another one. So to me, it's like we're all going through the same thing and we all want the end result of it. So we might as well all work together,
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. I am too with the last episode. Conclusion. When you love what you do,
Yeah.
I enjoyed myself. That's the part.
Hmm.
It doesn't feel like,
Work.
yes. It doesn't feel like,
Yeah.
oh, I gotta, you know, now the editing, which, you
Yeah.
know, that was a
That,
whole
that's
different,
that's work. That is work. That's why I have like 8 podcasts that I have not edited. They are sitting there in a folder because I'm on my last, you know me, like I kind of crazy when I get into projects, you know what I mean? Like, and I go full force. So I did so many that I'm up to like 100. So like I need my last, yeah, I'm up to this, the end of the year will be my, I'll be done with 100 episodes. Yeah. So I'm just collecting them. I think I'm just collecting my last 20 and then I'm going to bang them all out probably and then get them all out by the end of the year. But I think I have like,
congratulations.
thank
That's
you, I have like
dope.
10 or 11 more and then I'll be done with like 100.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
It's a huge thing, from someone who never thought that I would be interviewing and talking to people this openly and being so vulnerable and to, let my voice be heard and, accept
Mhm.
my voice and just be this like, you know, I don't know, have this forum for people.
It's interesting because that's the feedback that I've gotten from
Hmm.
people about mine. They've said, thank you for creating a space because I see myself in the people you interview. And that was really what I wanted to do. I wanted to talk about you know, just inspiration, faith in God in a different way, that wasn't, like I always say, that's not intimidating. That's not like, oh, I have to be this way. But there are people who are like living life day by day, getting by. You know, my last guest, Talani, she was it was probably my most emotional episode because, you know, Talani lost her husband of, you know, many, many years, the love of her life.
Yeah.
To cancer. And she's so, to hear her talk, you're like, she's so resilient. You know what I mean? It was such a beautiful exclamation point to the previous, right? And even to Nora, my first guest, who like made a bold decision to just decide that, okay, I've raised my daughters. Now I want my ex-husband to have an opportunity to be the primary caregiver. Just so many complex decisions that women make, and how so much of it is rooted in faith and intuition. That's watching that theme.
Yeah.
All the episodes was beautiful, but Talani was the one that like got me emotional about it.
Really?
Yeah. Because I mean, when you think of it, like, loss is like tough, right? Like when
Huge.
we really,
It's really tough, and it takes a really long time to process it, mourn it, grieve it, go through all of it, and you never know at what point that you are able to get by
yeah.
or
And
feel better.
do you ever really get by, or are you just on a different pathway of life that feels different?
Yeah.
Because that previous pathway will never be the same. So you kind of create a new branch that is connected, but it isn't. It's just another branch. And that was one of those conversations that when I did it, I was like, I really enjoy this. I really enjoy this. And I love talking to people and creating spaces that other people can kind of eavesdrop on.
Yeah.
And say, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm that woman, or I needed to hear that today.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if you are having these beautiful conversations with people, like now, like anytime I have a conversation with anybody, I'm always like, I really wish this was on podcast.
Yeah.
Because to me, like every conversation has a nugget of like, you know, a lesson there. Every conversation.
Oh yeah. And it's the nugget that we need to help us get through life.
Yeah, and I feel like I love it even more because it's recorded, so then we can hear it again and be like, oh, I missed that. Oh, that was great advice.
I love, you said that before, and it wasn't until I started doing it that I realized, once I got past how difficult it was to edit.
Yeah. Cute turtle. Yep.
I started, when I would listen back, is when I would be like, oh, that was good. How did I miss that? Or because now I'm present to what the person was saying, and it just, it felt different.
And it's beautiful. And then you're like, oh, I want to clip that part. That's perfect. Let me write down the time of that. Let me clip it. This is going to be this little short that now I can put out for people.
Yeah. Oh yeah. How do you, so what is it? So for you, like when you think of, you're coming on your 100th episode, right?
Yeah. Insane.
Do you feel like you know what's next for you for this whole project and this work?
It's interesting because I'm on that like transition period, right? So there's all these different branches and avenues that I've been looking and researching of what I can do next and what I can do that's purposeful and also be able to make some money out of all of this, you know? So I mean, I have many ideas of like, you know, passive income where, you know, I can do little art classes too, like, you know, sip and paint, and then we can chat and talk, you know, so then we can do like little things, you know, send people canvases and we can chat and paint at the same time and have a glass of wine.
That would be such a great podcast though.
Yeah, because people get tired of looking at our faces.
Yeah. I mean, and technically, right, podcasting is really listening, right?
Yeah.
We've just expanded the definition of it. Most people have because it's really listening, but people added the video because people then wanted to see people's faces.
Exactly.
I think that would be to like pick a group of women, almost like a panel, and you all paint, sip, and drop a topic.
Well, why don't we do inspiring conversation, Doc Sun Art and Hustle Sip and Paint podcast?
I love it. Let's like, right? Yes.
Because people have no excuses. It's not a conference. You don't have to go anywhere.
No.
You have no excuse. It's, you know, it's like an hour and a half, whatever. Get some wine. We'll send you an Amazon like little painting kit, and we just paint and chat.
And we'll just drop different conversations or
everybody can bring like one topic that we can all, you know, have a little advice or story about. Like, here's the topic of like karma. Do you have a story about karma? Did you go through something? Do you have a story about cheating? Do you have a story about love? You know, anything.
Oh, I love it.
Right. There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Now, how do we get started? I love
Easy. We just start telling, like, find some people, start texting a couple people, would decide like how many we want in this Zoom sip and paint. I think how many would look good, because technically this would be a fun series. Oh my God. It's another series one-off. It's another series of our thing. So we have our conversations. Now we're going to expand it and really joint Art and Hustle and, you know, Doc Sun, and that'll be another one-off of inspiring conversations, sip and paint. And then
we could just be interviewing people, like really, just interviewing them, right?
Oh my God! So if maybe it was like a 4, so then like we can have each of us bring one person, and then we can be interviewing them.
I like it. I like that.
Right? That would be fun.
I think so. Done.
There you go.
Look out for that.
There's always a nugget in each one. There's always like epiphany or something, you know? So there you go. You asked me what the evolution is and sparked an idea.
That's what it is. And I think in this day and age, you know, do the best you can with what you have and move towards the goal.
Yeah.
That's, if nothing else, going back to your original question about the podcast and the show and everything that I do, I did the best that I could with what I had, and I moved forward.
Yeah.
And I think so many of us, I'm not going to say people, so many of us, you know, we have an idea and then we don't take action on the idea because we think about the things that we don't have.
Yeah.
As opposed to thinking about, well, what do I have? I got a laptop. I got a cell phone.
Yep.
I got a Zoom account. I'm going to start there.
Exactly. Use whatever you have. I mean, technically people have no excuse because you have a phone, and your phone is everything these days. So it's not like before we had to pay like a marketing company and pay somebody to do all this stuff. You can do everything yourself. Be your own social media, be your own marketing, be your own editor. Like, I'm always like a one woman show all the time, you know? So yeah, there's no excuse, just do it.
Well, and that too, like I think too, the results of it all is what has me like excited, right? Like it's the messages. It's like, wow, that was really good. I like one of the episodes where, you know, I think 2 guests brought up the concept of breathing, right? Like just the power of breath.
I think I made a comment on one of those breathing ones, right?
Yeah. And it's like, oh, that's it. That person was able to bring a piece of information that I didn't have, that I didn't think about because it wasn't in my wheelhouse. I wasn't, you know, focused on it, but it resonated with someone.
Yeah.
That's, you know, so the editing and and all the other things that we have to do when it comes down to like, I'm the people that are, and here's the other thing that I learned, right? That more people are watching than are commenting.
Yeah, all the time.
That's just the society that we live in.
Yeah, all the time. That's why, so like when I originally was doing, I was hearing all these tips that people tell me that I need to do, but it was hard to think about all the things I have to do when I'm trying to interview somebody, you know? So I haven't gotten there yet of adding all the other things that other podcasters have taught me. Like so I've watched a lot of them where they'll do like a couple minutes of the interview or whatever, and then they'll cut it and add in a video of you saying, hey, by the way, guys, I just want to interrupt my own video here and let you know that if you can really help me out and like, subscribe, comment, because that really helps our algorithm and push to people that really needs to hear this. And they'll cut that, insert it into your video in the beginning of it, and either the beginning, the middle, the end, but they'll always insert it in there because
Wow.
you only keep somebody's attention for maybe 15 seconds sometimes before they change the channel. So maybe within the first 15 seconds, you try to catch them. And so you take that little clip of you saying it and you insert it in there. Instead of having to say it in our conversation, you just add it in there.
Yeah. That's good. Is there anybody that you want to interview that you haven't interviewed yet?
Yeah, the funny thing is I was thinking of like Lorraine West.
Lorraine is on my list too. That's so funny.
I know, it'd be fun. We should like put her in together with us.
That would be good.
Put it together.
Lorraine is definitely on my list.
Yeah, I think that would be funny. We just have all three of us.
That would be hilarious.
And Monique, we should put Monique on there.
Mm-hmm.
The four of us or anybody else, that'd be funny.
That would be very funny. That would be funny. Anybody outside of who you know that you are interested in talking to? Like what would be your dream interview?
Dream? I mean,
Yeah.
my dream is all the people that I watch on podcasting, from like Louis Hayes to Jay Shetty to Oprah to there's all kinds of Anthony Robbins, all of these podcasters that I've watched, and there's another British guy too, but like all of them, they're all amazing. And then the people that they talk to, like, it's just fascinating.
Yeah. I love I'm a huge Jay Shetty fan.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I read his book, on being a monk, but those, yeah, that would be one of mine too. Yeah,
there's so many of them that is just so inspiring, their conversations that they have with other people, and the little bits of information and the lessons that you get from it is just super. I'm always with my phone, like, oh my God, that quote, pause, then I start writing down the quote.
Oh yeah. And to the interesting people, like I love Jameel Hill. Like she's another, like she's all about sports and I love sports. But all of the people she interviews aren't sports people. Yeah. Right. But she's so hip hop, she's so sports. And then she's interviewing all of these interesting people unapologetically. So she would definitely be one. And then you may or may not know Matt Barnes. He's a former basketball player. And he has a show with Stack, another basketball player, a former basketball player. And I love their interviews too. Right. I love The Shop. Right. Have you seen The Shop?
I feel like that sounds familiar.
That's LeBron James.
Yes, I have seen that. Yeah.
To me, I've envisioned like that kind of conversation, right? With groups of people from different walks of life, but are connected in some way. Those are those are my like finger crossed.
I love it. Just as you say that, I just had a vision of us doing something with a bunch of different people of all walks of life, because that's where we came from, where there was all different types of people, and we accepted everybody, and that's why we can have these conversations between me and you of like everything.
Yeah, we did have a unique upbringing. I don't think a lot of towns looked the way we looked in the period of time where we were coming up. Yeah. They were either like all one race or the other, whereas we were like a really eclectic, diverse bunch.
It was very diverse. That's why I think it's awesome. Like, and then we could bring that to people, because if the way we operate in the world, no one would really realize like our childhood and all the different races that we grew up and this and that, and we could shed some light on it. So I just had a vision of us sitting in that LeBron James kind of room with all kinds of different people and like interviewing them, like you said.
Yeah, that would be fun. I think this whole experience has been probably one of the highlights of this year for me.
I agree. I think it's definitely a huge, I don't know what's the word.
Yeah,
a gift. I think it was a huge gift.
Mm-hmm.
A huge gift.
Yeah, man, it's you just never know. You never know what God's plans are. But if you're obedient and you kind of listen to your gut, your intuition, your spirit, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
you'll find yourself in the most beautiful places.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that, you believe in God, you have this message that you want to get out. And for me, I believe, it's in everything. So it's like not that we are separated of like, you believe in this, I believe in this. I feel like everything's the same and everything just has a different word or a different meaning, but we're
Mhm.
all the same. We're all believing in something, that's
Oh
something
yeah.
out there,
Oh
and
yeah.
something guiding us and all of that. So I think it's great that we can bring the two worlds together and have these conversations.
Oh yeah. And the gift ultimately is God, right? You're a gift of artistry and your ability to just channel emotions in various creative ways.
Mhm.
That's that's a gift.
Yeah,
It's a gift because not everybody has it. Let's just be clear.
exactly.
I'm out here drawing stick figures. I'm not.
And that's why, like in the first podcast we did with you, I'm like, well, your gift is you're speaking to people, you're hearing people, you be able to be
Mhm.
empathetic and hear, the voices that people are thinking in a room of like, what do these people need from me? Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So do you see that with every person as well? Like when you get on a podcast with someone, do you feel their energy of what they're thinking and
Mhm.
feeling and what they need as well?
Oh yeah. And I see it's interesting, right? I see the person as all of their various parts of like who they are,
Hmm.
right? So, but in all of who they are, the one key thing that I can see in them
Hmm.
is divinity.
Hmm.
Like that is the common theme. Like, Valencia and Wendy. Wendy's like a acting coach. Valencia is a event planner, right? But both of them, there was a level of divinity in them. Like Wendy just knew who she was going to be. There's a way she's with people that I'm like, okay, that's God. And then Valencia, there's a way she is with young people, and young people
Hmm.
are attracted to her. And she has a soft spoken, like when I see people, I see what God created them to be. That's
Like
the
their purpose, right? Their purpose.
yes. So when I'm interviewing people, it's almost as if God shines a spotlight on like this.
Yeah, purpose.
Yes.
Like their
And
gift.
what I try to do is pull that out of them so
Mhm.
that the world gets to see them, but that their gift also shines through.
Like if there's something that's stopping them or hindering them or like an obstacle that they're going through.
Oh, I see all of that too, because oftentimes we can't see ourselves, right? Like
Mhm.
we don't have the ability
No, unless you're doing a podcast and editing,
and
watching
editing
yourself
and you
talk,
look back.
listening to yourself talk, you're like, oh wow, I really, really, really
Oh
see
yeah.
myself now.
Oh yeah. Like, oh, I need to modulate my voice more. No, but it's you do you can't really see yourself.
Hmm.
Can't. And so for me, it's when I'm able to see people and the parts of themselves that they can't see.
Hmm.
That's also the gift. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
oh, Linda has this, but she's totally unaware that this is blocking her.
Yeah.
That's the gift, I think
I,
it is.
I love that. Now, what was your thoughts the first time or now of my 100 days, 100 episodes of all of this? What did you think of the first one till what you see now, what I can improve on, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think like after doing it, one of the things is, really asking more intention. Like my questions are intentional.
Hmm.
They're definitely guided by who the person is, but I want to get more from people. So I
Mm-hmm.
want to figure out ways. Like I think one time you did it with me where we did like rapid fire
Yeah,
questions.
yeah,
I think I want to integrate that because I
yeah,
think it's an opportunity in the time, because I like to keep mine short in that
yeah,
period of time. How do I, it's almost like squeezing
yeah,
juice orange. How do I get the most out of it where
Mhm.
people can really shine?
Yeah, yeah.
So asking more like rapid fire questions or something along those lines. And the other part is probably, you know, I'm very critical.
Mhm,
So it's
mhm.
probably stuff like setup, right?
Yeah.
And those things I'm still learning to let go and I trust, but I think next season I'm
Mhm.
definitely going to step up my game in
Oh,
that.
there you go. You got me, and I'm gonna help you now.
So I need a nice fancy mug like what you have.
Yeah,
You're
so we get
always coming with a different mug. You got the CI mug, you
yeah, we
got the
got the
art and
scam
hustle
mug
mug.
today. Yep. Well, I'm gonna get you together. We're gonna get you a mug. We're gonna get you a backdrop, and then anything else that you can do it like a plant if you want a plant and a light. You know, you can whatever you want as your little setup.
Yeah, I think yeah, that's definitely so those are the two things, right? Just
Mm.
aesthetically, but also I want more from and I've gotten that from people.
Yeah,
They want more.
they
They
want
want
more.
yes.
Yeah. I mean, it was funny because when I was setting up today, I have my pile of index cards here that if I wanted, I can do like rapid fire questions for people. So I have my rapid fire questions because I always think rapid fire questions is fun. And also I had another idea because I have tons of ideas. I think I want to do like a game where it's questions.
Hmm.
So, and you know, like how you get to know people, there's always like when you can have it on your coffee table. So it's like a box of art and hustle, art of living questions that
Oh,
would sit in everybody's coffee table.
come on, that you need
Right?
to get that out for Christmas. That's a great Christmas
Oh
gift.
my god, yeah, that's a Christmas idea. Yeah. So it would just be rapid fire questions of people.
All right, Linda, I'm gonna stay on you about that one. That's a good Christmas.
Yeah, we need
Offer.
that. We need our notebook quotas, you know. We got a lot of things we gotta work on. Sip and paint.
Listen, the notable quotables though, I need you to like come on.